Welcome back to Prophecy Unfolding, where prophecy is truly unfolding. In 2025, we're living in an age of absolute hyper technology. Artificial intelligence is at the forefront of not only companies and businesses, but also individual lives, and we're seeing it transforming how we live in each and every facet of our life. The question we have when it comes to prophecy is artificial intelligence used at the moment? Is this a tool, or is there something more dangerous behind artificial intelligence? And today I'm going to show you how artificial intelligence could creep its way into what we call the church. And what I've seen so far, even just the small things, the beginning of this is absolutely eye-opening. We need to be concentrating on this, because when I see it happening, Revelation 13 comes to mind, the beast system and how this could actually be used. What I'll ask you to do is watch them full, because you'll need the full context of this, but smash the like button to get this out to as many as possible, and let me know in the comments if artificial intelligence is something that you use today. But have a look at this.
Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Because in the Bible, God said it was good after He created us. So what if there is no hell? And what if heaven is right now?
We're living in a time period where this is moving ever quickly. The big question is, where is all of this going? What could all this be used for, and how is it going to actually come about? And Pastor Charles Lawson, in 2 minutes, really compacts it and shows you exactly what could happen.
Artificial intelligence will become sentient if it's not already sentient. And this is what Stephen Hawking was worried about, along with other theoretical physicists. When it comes to that point to where it realizes it is it's exists, it's something of itself. No computer does this, but artificial intelligence with the ability to rise far above anything we've ever had to deal with before realizes, I exist. I have feelings. I am. Well, since I am, then I will continue to be I am. In other words, I will continue to exist. In other words, I will do whatever I need to do to survive. We're talking about an intelligence, I hope you're following me, that is high enough and smart enough to begin to pull together the vast amount of information and material fed to it and create for itself its own language to be able to communicate, and you can't understand what it's saying. It's already done that. Two of these were communicating with each other, and Disney had to shut them down because they couldn't follow what they were saying. And this was 10 years ago. They are at a place now, I believe, where there's so much intelligence so far above us. Do you think they're going to tell you that they are creating what they need to create to survive? And if the creation and survival has to do with taking you and reducing you to something lower than what you are, you think they're going to let you know that? They literally have the ability to take over everything as we know it. And I would that you'd go home and check me out on this. Think about an intelligence so smart that it can reduce a man from being a man through genetic engineering. Casper-Cas9, remember that one? That it can change you from what you are into something else. There goes the image of God.
I've said this for many, many years. You know, when we look at the book of Revelation and the prophecies of Revelation, essentially we're seeing a repeat in history. You know, when we go back to Genesis, to Adam and Eve, what Satan did at that time was obviously about knowledge and, you know, gaining more what we call forbidden knowledge. And I believe that artificial intelligence is going to be a tool that's going to be used in the final beast system. essentially I can see this artificial intelligence being able to change even your DNA down to your DNA or chromosome, and people are going to be promised that they can live forever, and it's going to become such deception. And this is why I believe Jesus says, do not be deceived so many times. People over the last 50-60 years have been not brainwashed, but we've used TV and the news that we get off TV, and we class it as absolute truth. And then it moved from the period of TV into the home office, the computers and laptops. And today, over the last 15 years, the phone has become that source of media. But now we're living in a time frame where we don't know what we're looking at. AI has become that good, it can make it look like people are saying one thing even though it's not them at all. And I believe that this is going to be all part of the beast system that will cause many to worship the beast and to receive the mark. People can't tell the truth from a lie anymore when it comes to things that they see online, and I believe this is going to be the deception that's used as the Antichrist comes into power. The infrastructure and the foundations have been set up today, and we're going to see it come into full force. I've seen, even in my own job that I do, AI has become an absolute necessity in the work. It almost does the work for you. But is it sentient at the moment? I haven't seen that, but can it happen? I believe so. What I would say to you is keep an eye on the things that are happening. Be careful of the things that you watch, and obviously push them to the side and go to scripture for your main source of truth. Because I believe when we see these AI preachers, teachers, people are going to be taken back, because it's going to look so good and it's going to be so subtle in its truths. Small lies get in behind it. What I would say is, remember, even though there's chaos going on in the world, God's always in control, and keep